In the 90s, cannabis averaged 4% THC. Today, 90%.
Have a call back for 86 in 2 seconds. Negative K, nothing further, just kitty candy on the corner.
ER visits rise. Black markets explode. Cartels adapt. Corporate profits soar. And right when the industry starts winning, the narrative flips. Suddenly, cannabis isn't a cultural revolution. It's a public health crisis. Coincidence? Market forces? Or is the system designed to keep the chaos profitable? In 2014, America was promised something simple: legal cannabis.
Colorado, recreational use of marijuana now officially legal in the state that gave us Rocky Mountain High.
Minimal risk, no surge in use, a plant stepping out of the shadows. 12 years later, the numbers tell a different story. 18 million daily users, tripled since 2012. Millions of emergency room visits. Psychosis headlines, violent vomiting syndromes. A new villain has a name: big weed. The New York Times investigation drops like a thunderbolt. Commercialization gone wild. For-profit cannabis companies flooding the market with high-potency products. Flower isn't enough anymore. Now it's concentrates, dabs, shatter, vapes pushing 90% THC. In the 1990s, typical cannabis tested under 5% THC. Today, 20 to 30% in flower, 60 to 95% in extracts. We're seeing cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome.
Extreme cases, we're seeing sort of full-on psychosis, hallucinations, agitation, that sort of thing.
Violent vomiting, reoccurrent, and severe, end quote. An estimated 2.8 million cases annually, waves of cannabis-linked paranoia and psychosis, hospitalizations.
One of the more troubling health effects to consuming marijuana is the risk of having a psychotic episode. A new study published in The Lancet Psychiatry shows that consuming weed on a daily basis and using high-potency cannabis is associated with a higher risk of psychosis.
The prescription from the editorial board: cap potency at 60%, tax the strong stuff, ban advertising, regulate smarter. Reasonable or incomplete? California legalized cannabis years ago. The promise? To kill the black market. Instead, illegal sales still dwarf licensed ones. Hundreds of millions seized in raids. Officials admit it plainly. The underground remains pervasive. In New York, over 1,500 unlicensed shops, nearly $500 million in untaxed sales.
Yeah, that's right. One at this shop, another at a liquor store a few miles down the road. There were also warrants served in Cherokee County, and a home in Atlanta was raided.
And the DEA's 2025 National Drug Threat Assessment delivers a brutal conclusion. Legalization didn't eliminate the underground. It supercharged it. So who's really winning? Chinese and Asian transnational criminal organizations, Mexican cartels with massive illegal grows inside legal states.
I'm not surprised to hear that them running cannabis grows, it's generating cash that they're then using to accomplish capital flight out of China.
In other words, the DEA says this form of organized crime is one that extends far beyond black market cannabis and is rooted in a desire for Chinese nationals in the U.S. to get their money out of China due to recent restrictions on how much they can take out of the country. A U.S. Treasury official tells NBC News that Chinese criminal organizations are operating in the U.S. and now working with Mexican cartels.
Products diverted nationwide, and the regulatory gaps have been exploited. In one 2024 sweep, more than 1/3 of eradicated plants in California were allegedly tied to Chinese networks. Meanwhile, Mexican cartel cannabis seizures at the northwest border plummeted over 97% since 2013. Not because demand disappeared, but because production moved inland.
Air to ground. We've got some items for you on a 4-3. See the items right there? 2 plots. Nice big bushy plants there sitting in the back of the scrub area.
It's a domestic diversion. Grow it in a legal state, launder it through front operations, and then ship it to prohibition pockets. The gray zone becomes a gold mine. Cannabis inches towards Schedule 3, easing federal tax burdens and boosting corporate profits, but not fully legal, not federally normalized, not interstate. The hybrid system remains legal, but not fully. Illegal, but selectively. Perfect for confusion, perfect for arbitrage, and perfect for raids. Still, asset forfeiture remains lucrative. Budgets are justified on a government level, and the war never ends. It just evolves. This is the Potency arm race. Is this market evolution or escalation? The Hudson Institute called it deliberate engineering of a hyperpotent cannabis before full safety data. The Atlantic points to incentives in a regulatory vacuum. Higher THC equals higher margins. A premium product with premium profits. Market projections show concentrates booming over the next decade. And now, after the surge, calls for caps. Why after the damage? Cannabis once symbolized counterculture, questioned authority, and challenged power structures. But today's high-potency products, studies show daily high THC use increases psychosis risks. It's linked to paranoia, delusions, and first-episode psychosis markers. Molecular Psychiatry, 2024. High-potency exposure leaving biological signatures.
Some people have low levels of endocannabinoids due to excess stress and trauma. But research shows that weed compounds can replace missing endocannabinoids and treat things like PTSD and mood disorders.
Some critics argue users consume less of stronger products. Others say gray market hemp loopholes flooded the market early. But in online forums, a darker narrative simmers. What if flooding markets with paranoia-inducing super strength products doesn't awaken people? It overwhelms them. Fearful populations don't organize, they withdraw, they comply. There is no memo, no smoking gun, just patterns and incentives. Blame big weed, call for stricter regulations, maintain federal limbo. Meanwhile, illicit networks thrive in the cracks.
They may have been a little bit wrong about marijuana.
Now the op-ed entitled "It's Time for America to Admit That It Has a Marijuana Problem."
Enforcement budgets remain justified, and they swell. Media cycles spin. Problem, reaction, solution. Regulate into controlled scarcity. Or is this simply the chaos of a half-legal system colliding with profit motives? What would full legalization with interstate commerce, standardized testing, and unified oversight actually do? Would it crush the black market, normalize low-risk use, or shift the battlefield again? The plant doesn't write legislation. It doesn't set tax policy. It doesn't design regulatory loopholes. People do. The real story isn't just about cannabis. It's about power, profit, and who benefits when a market stays half free. The plant doesn't lie, but the game around it might.